Good morning and welcome to Rapid TV's continuously evolving social, political, and general interest show, Korero. I am your regular host, Nkamiang John the Beloved, also known to most as the Controversial. Now, the much anticipated Niger Delta Sports Festival officially commenced at the Uyo Township Stadium, also known as the Nest of Champions, with a spectacular opening ceremony that captured the essence of sportsmanship, culture, and regional unity. Now, despite a downpour, the event, which started at about 4:30 p.m. local time, saw an enthusiastic turnout, reaffirming the unwavering spirit of Niger Deltans towards youth empowerment and talent development. Now, the chief host of the festival, Governor Umar Basieno of Akwa-Ibom State, made a grand entrance unfazed by the rain, further energizing the crowd and participants from across the region. The opening ceremony was a dazzling display of Niger Delta's cultural richness, featuring electrifying performances from all 9 participating states. The audience were thrilled to an array of traditional dances showcasing the diverse heritage of the region. Adding to the thrill, the event featured live musical performances from renowned gospel artist Eben and Igbo rap sensation Fino, who delivered electrifying renditions that kept the stadium alive despite the rain. Now, dressed in fresh green uniforms symbolizing growth and resilience, Team Abia made a bold statement as they marched into the stadium, exuding confidence and determination. Now, with the festival torch ablaze, the competitive spirit was ignited, setting the stage for intense and exciting games in the coming days. So if you missed it yesterday, let's give you a quick highlight of how that opening ceremony went down yesterday.
Oh, look about you killing mo, you killing mo, you killing mo. Oh, look about you killing mo, my chief, my Jesus.
Your Excellencies, ladies and gentlemen, this is the beauty of culture. This is Cross River State. And when you talk about dressing, when you talk about dressing, Your Excellencies, ladies and gentlemen, this is what the beauty of culture of the people of Cross River State, Your Excellencies, is the unique identity in their dressing, female or male. As you can see, richly endowed in their attire, woven unique blouses, and of course, this is the part that has gone global. The traditional dancing coming from Cross River, all about the waists, all about the waists. This is what culture Cross River is all about. Richly endowed. The people of Cross River State proud themselves as a state that gives you all of the dance features that has come to take a place in the global stage. This is Cross River to the world. And it's all from the Niger Delta Sports Festival. Still within the Niger Delta, Your Excellency, Edo States. Edo States, Oba Tobe, he said, this is the beauty that has come to display. The Benin people represent Benin, Isha, Afemai. This is what has come to represent the culture. When you see the Benin woman, the princess of the palace, the wife of the Oba, the Enoki, when they put the handkerchief on their just mouth, oh yeah. That's from Edo State. Afema and Esan, this is the culture. The uniqueness of the dressing, the female and the male. It shows royalty, unique identity, when the men proudly dress in the traditional costume. If you are around the Benin people, they pride themselves in their dressing, and that is what we are showcasing live at the Niger Delta Sports Festival. Of course, when you have the rivers people in their Namati Bifeni, Epelete Bite, John and the Ojukulu attires, the Etebo, the church, and not common attires of the job people.
So, Italibes wiku, Mejendie Upana Waji, Ona Mubo Waji, O Politiki.
Yeah. The people of the Riverina areas are river states. The Anthony people. Yes, your politics is when you see them. The Antonio Popo, Nkoro, Asaretoro, Yakukutoro, your Krikas, the Korero, the Antonis, the Kokanas, the Eches, the Kus, the Agbadoni people. This is the uniqueness of the Niger Delta region. Your Excellencies, just like the rivers people, when you talk about the Calabaris, the Gokanas, the Iquiris, Amos, the unique identity, the way of dressing, we shall be experiencing something so familiar. All the way. Your Excellencies, distinguished ladies and gentlemen, present to you Bayelsa State.
If you're just tuning in, well, This is Rapid TV's continuously evolving social, political, and general interest show, Korero. Once again, good morning and welcome. I am Nkamian John, the beloved, your regular host on the show. And on today's edition of the program, we are looking at the much anticipated Niger Delta Sports Festival that officially commenced Wednesday at the Uyo Township Stadium, also known as the Nest of Champions in Akwa-Ibom State, South Nigeria. Now, the state governor, Eno, praised the Niger Delta Development Commission, NDDC, for its investment in sports aimed at discovering new talents for the region and the country. Governor Eno highlighted the importance of engaging citizens in the festival and emphasizing the need to maintain the facilities recently upgraded by the NDDC. He assured that the festival would be successfully hosted and promised to provide the necessary support to ensure the safety and comfort of all participants. Now, Pastor Unoemo Imo urged outlets to see the Niger Delta Sports Festival bankrolled by the NDDC as an opportunity to become world champions, adding that the Niger Delta had been the hub for sports development and the Niger Delta Sports Festival would help in rekindling the region's dominance in Nigerian sports as it had faced dwindling fortunes in recent times. The governor assured of his administration's commitment to sports development in a bid to engage the youth in the state in meaningful ventures that would curb the restiveness while providing them with a platform to excel. Let's quickly hear Governor Umoino, and when we come back, we'll be joined by my guest who is in Uyo as we speak, and we'll have a conversation on what transpired yesterday and of course what to look forward to today as far as the Niger Delta Sports Festival is concerned.
Your Excellency, the President and Commander-in-Chief of the Armed Forces of the Federal Republic of Nigeria, Senator Bola Ahmed Tinubu, GCFR, very ably represented by the Chairman of the National Sports Commission, Your Excellency, the Governor of Ondo State, Your Excellency, the Deputy Governor of Akwa-Ibom State, the Coordinator of the Office of the First Lady of Akwa-Ibom State, and your spouse, the representatives of the Niger Delta governors that are here present, the distinguished senators that are here present with us, especially the Chairman and Deputy Chairman, Senate Committee on NDDC, members of the House of Representatives, especially the Chairman and Deputy Chairman, House Committee on NDDC, the Honorable Minister for Regional Development, Honorable Speaker, members of the various Houses of Assembly, the Chairman of NDDC, the Managing Director and Management Staff of NDDC, the Director General and members of the Nigerian National Sports Commission, the Chairman of PDP in Akwa-Ibom and members of IPAC, Secretary to the State Government of Akwa-Ibom State, members of the Executive Council of Akwa-Ibom State, service commanders, both serving and retired, sponsors, partners, captains of industries, chairmen of boards and commissions, permanent secretaries, chairmen of local government areas, senior citizens, chairmen and members of the organizing committee, the good people of the Niger Delta, the good people of Akwa-Ibom State, festival participants, specially invited guests, the press, ladies and gentlemen. On behalf of the government and people of Akwa-Ibom State, I welcome my dear brothers, governors, particularly the governor of Ondo State, who flew in this evening to be at this event. I want to especially welcome the chairman of the National Sports Commission, Alhaji Shehu Diko, who is representing the President and Commander-in-Chief of the Nigerian Armed Forces, President Bola Ahmed Tinubu, GCFR. We welcome the 3,400 athletes drawn from all the 9 Niger Delta states to the maiden edition of the Niger Delta Sports Festival. Let me specially commend the Managing Director of the Niger Delta Development Commission, Dr. Samuel Oku, the board of the commission led by Mr. Chidi Edi, and the consultant, Dunamis Icon, for a great job you all have done in pulling this event off to a great start. When the Managing Director of the Commission led a delegation of the management and staff of the Commission on a courtesy call to me a few months ago, and unofficially requested that we host this maiden sporting event, I had enthusiastically told him it would be our honor to host the event in spite of the limited time we had to work with them to put things together. Well, here we are today, gathered at the Uyo Township Stadium for the opening ceremonies of this event. The theme, Beyond Oil, Harnessing Talents, is so aptly reflective of a key focal area of our governing blueprint, the Arise Agenda, Human Capital Development. The vision of the NDDC in restoring the past glory of sporting excellence of the Niger Delta region ties into our plan for sports development, which is to discover talent early through sporting events such as this and expose them to further bring glory to our state, our region. We must rekindle that passion, and I am hopeful that this game represents the starting point of the sport renaissance in our region. Akwa-Ibom, as we say, is Nigeria's best kept secret, from our beautiful, peaceful, and serene capital city of Uyo to the bustling oil gas hub in Eket to the raffia city of Ikot-Ekpene. Our state is blessed with world-class infrastructure, nationally celebrated cuisines, and friendly people. The ease of travel and of doing business, Ibom Air, safe, and indeed very secured. Our state remains the place to come, to live, and to invest, and be happy. I hope in the course of the 9 days that this event will last, you will find time to go out and savor the sights and sounds of our dear state. To all the athletes gathered here, I urge you to come first, uphold discipline and the spirit of sportsmanship. Beyond winning medals, this festival also presents an opportunity to build friendships, promote unity, and showcase the immense talent of the youth of the Niger Delta. To our Akwa-Ibom contingent, I challenge you to go out there and win laurels for our state. We are not only hosting these games, we are hosting to win. So let the happy hour begin. Welcome again, our dear state. God bless Akwa-Ibom. God bless the Niger Delta. And God bless the Federal Republic of Nigeria.
Governor of Akwa-Ibom State welcoming the contingent and of course the dignitaries to the opening ceremony of the maiden edition of the Niger Delta Sports Festival. The show is live and interactive right here on Rapid TV and of course on all our social media platforms. We are streaming live on our website www.rbnradiotv.com, and of course, as always, I implore you to be part of the conversation by simply engaging us on all our social media platforms. And don't forget, our official handle is, or our handle is at official Rapid TV. That's Facebook, Twitter, I beg your pardon, X, formerly known as Twitter, Instagram, also known as IG. We're also on LinkedIn and on TikTok as well. And you can take advantage of our WhatsApp portal to engage the conversation. The number is 0916 771 6035. 0916 771 6035. Joining me this morning via Skype. I couldn't drag the young man to join me live, but he's joining us via Skype from Uyo, the Akwa-Ibom State capital, and he's a sports journalist, sports analyst. I've known him for a long time now. Akila Matawa. Akila, it's great to have you join us this morning. How is Uyo this morning? I know the heavens opened yesterday, and it was quite an experience, but the festival did happen.
Yeah, Uyo is calm. Uyo is sunny this morning after the rains last night. It's a good moment for sporting activities. It's been busy for the past few weeks now, from the inspection of facilities by the organizers to this point where competition has started. Just for the record, some events started yesterday. Women's football got started. There are events currently ongoing. Just behind me is the swimming pool of the Uyo Township Stadium as well, where the swimming activities will be starting in no meantime. Some of the athletes are having a feel of it, and I don't know if I should probably turn my camera, but just to give you a feel of what we have around here, you can see banners behind me. I'm at the Uyo Township Stadium at the moment, and just in front, we have some of the female footballers having their warm-up session, preparing for games that will happen later today. And I tell you, it's been a very, very massive event, from the inspection of facilities that we saw to the repackaging of some of them. Some of them have been renovated. The swimming pool of this particular stadium was not in use since the police games that happened almost more than 2 years ago. It's been refurbished by organizers. The West Itam Sports Complex as well has been refurbished. The basketball courts, the handball court as well. The Dakada Skill Acquisition Center being put to use in sporting activities for the very first time because of this competition. We also have an
Okay, we seem to have lost connection.
hotel as well,
Okay.
another arena that will be used. So overall, everything looks set and competition has started.
I'm happy that you've given us a quick rundown in the build-up to what happened yesterday, because I was going to ask you what is the state of facilities ahead of the game. But let's go to what happened yesterday. You were an eyewitness of the opening ceremony. Did it meet your expectation, coupled with the fact that we're talking about a major regional sports festival of this nature?
Well, every competition, the big ones, the small ones, whatever you get to see in tournaments, in action proper, will always have some link to the opening ceremony. And yesterday, what we saw was electric. Despite the rainfall, people defied the downpour yesterday, came out in their numbers. There were people who were dancing, who were drumming. It was a spectacle yesterday, and for everyone who followed, people came out, and we had, big stars who showed up. Fino was here yesterday. He led the performance. And then, in my opinion, this is a celebration of the culture of the Niger Delta. And that is what we saw yesterday. Different states, different contingent coming up, many of them dressed in their attires, dancing to the groove, enjoying the moment, showcasing what they've got culturally now. Even though this is competition, sports is at the forefront, but I think it's an avenue as well for uniting the Niger Delta region, and that's exactly what we saw play out yesterday. And if what we saw yesterday, the passion to defy the downpour yesterday and come out, the event didn't start when it was due to start, but people were here deep into the night, 7:30 p.m., 8 p.m., people were still here because of the power that sports has. So I'm happy that this is coming up. It's the very maiden edition of the competition, and we can already see that this, if sustained, is a massive tournament. And like I would always say, this for me is the Olympics of the Niger Delta.
I agree with you, but the question is, how, from your perspective, how would you rate the quality of organization? Because the quality of organization will determine the quality of games that we see at the end of the day, and that will truly determine the value that the Niger Delta Sports Festival brings to the Committee of Sports as far as Nigeria and Africa is concerned.
It may be quick to judge, but in my opinion, I think organization has been top notch. Like I said, almost 3 weeks ago, we had the organizers of this tournament, the co-chairman, Akwa-Ibom, was here. He came on board with so many of the officials, the head of scouting, who is a fellow journalist, Godwin Enakena as well. So many of them, as far back as 3 weeks ago, they didn't just say, okay, these facilities are good to go, we're going to host these competitions, and sat back. They came down themselves. They went into these arenas. I followed them on one of the inspection tours. I tell you, from around 3 p.m., we were touring around till around 9 p.m. So that shows the passion that they've invested into this. And the lifting, or the first lifting of some of these facilities that will be hosting this championship, so much has been put into that. And that's also part of the passion that this brings. More than a week ago, I think it was 9 days before the start of this championship, the co-chairman and many of the officials came to Uyo. They've been in Uyo for over 1 week to ensure that the finishing touches are put into this. And if you can check out the arena, look at the branding, look at what we saw yesterday, the media presence and everything, even the personalities that have been deployed into this competition, you know, some of the big names as far as journalism is concerned. So it means that it's not just about the participation alone. It's about, you know, making it project Niger Delta in good light. And for the host state, it's an advantage for them. Akwa-Ibom businesses are booming at the moment. You know, it's good to host the maiden edition, and the impression that they want to give is that will last a lifetime. And you can see that the governor of the state was here yesterday, the #1 citizen of the state, and that shows that support-wise they have it. And I like what the co-chairman Akwa-Ibom had said, that this tournament is not just to come, win, and celebrate. It's a tournament to discover young stars. And that is why they have a team that is dedicated for scouting and mentorship that is led by Godwin Enakena. So I think, apart from just probably celebrating 25 years of having the commission that is saddled with the responsibility of organizing activities around the Niger Delta and seeing to adding to what government does in terms of development, I think this is a major platform for discovery of talents. And from what we've seen so far, and from what we expect to see, with the segmenting of all of these departments to give the tournament, you know, a good participation, I feel that organization has been top-notch so far. And we can only pray, because sometimes you may not have challenges pre-competition, but within competition, you have to be able to manage situations. There will be, you know, agitations, there will be confrontations, there will be emotions as well, because sports can get emotional anytime. And I feel that they have projected all of those. They've seen that. That's why we have enough security presence around as well. You know, it's just a jolly good atmosphere. Everybody is walking around. People are shaking themselves, sitting together, regardless of whether they are from Delta, from Edo, from Rivers, from Bayelsa, from Abia, from Imo, from Ondo, or from the whole state of Akwa-Ibom. So it's unity at its best, and organization to this point, I can say of what I've seen.
All right, Akila, let's look. I know that some of the teams arrived way ahead of the opening ceremony yesterday in a bid to familiarize themselves with the environment and the facilities. And I assume you've had some contact with some of these participating teams. So what's their expectations like? What's their reaction like to the standard of the various sporting facilities that have been provided in Akwa-Ibom? Normally, Akwa-Ibom is naturally a tourist destination for anybody who has the chance to come to Akwa-Ibom. But how are the teams reacting to what's been put in place so far?
Very well, very well. For many of these teams who, you know, spoke to the media, everybody is saying, I want to win, I want to win. But I think beyond just coming to win, we're going to see a healthy competition. That's what I hope to see in this tournament. And just like it might have been put out there, 17 sports will be competed for. So this is not just about the scenario that always we have it narrowed around a few sports. There's diversification. just outside the stadium. Outside of the stands, you have where wrestling will be taking place. Behind, you have the swimming pool for swimming event. On the pitch here, you have football. And in other centers, you have athletics, you have weightlifting, so many sports, 17 of them. So chess as well, Scrabble, all of them will be part of this competition. There's tennis, there's table tennis, there's also basketball, there's handball, there's volleyball. So it's a collection of everything. And we are hoping that we see the best of participation by all of these teams. And above all, like the theme for this competition is Beyond Oil, Harnessing Talents. We are hoping that we're able to harness a good number of talents that will in the near future take over from those who are aging. We cannot have Aruna Kodri, for example, for a lifetime. Age is no longer on his side. Blessing Okagbare, yes, blighted by the ban from the World Athletics at a point. We have other athletes as well. Toby Amuson, we could see that she didn't match up to her hype at the last Olympics. But what are we able to do to bring up more stars to take over from these ones that are aging? And it is tournaments like this, developmental, purely developmental, where you catch them young. They may not be finished products at the moment, but then potential is what we're hoping to see. And that's the organizers, like they've promised, through the scouting and mentorship department, will see to the growth of these athletes so that they can transition from one stage to another. And in the next maybe 5-6 years, we can begin to say, oh, this is where it all started, the Niger Delta Sports Festival. And we're beginning to reap the fruit so that in global competitions, Nigeria can get back to reckoning and not go to the Olympics to make up the numbers as we've seen in the last few Olympics.
Okay, let's look at the host state. As the governor summed up his speech, he said their plan is not just to host, but to host and win. How prepared is Team Akwa-Ibom for these games?
Well, everyone who goes into a competition or a race wants to win, and he's very free to make that assertion. Before the tournament started, he had spoken to these athletes, this team of Akwa-Ibom, and said they should not feel that the governor is not with them or the state government. For every medal that they win, they're going to get a reward, even though he has not made that public. But from the body language that I'm seeing, coming around the stadium yesterday, and even appointing someone who has been sports all through as commissioner for sports in Elder Paul Bassi, it shows the intention that he has for sports. We saw last year, latter part of 2023 and 2024, when he came on board, he revived the Governor's Cup that has not been played for 10 years. So that's someone who somehow has shown that he has passion for sports. And we wait to see. We give him the benefit of doubt, but I think he started well sports-wise. And this is a very big test for himself, for the state as well. I'm hoping that they host a good competition. He has said they are ready. The athletes themselves say they are ready. They've been, practicing, they've had their trials, and the best of the best we have selected. So hoping that somehow they're able to match up with their pre-tournament, activity and everything into competition. But I think in the end, it's not about who wins. It's about what we're able to produce in terms of talents. It's about the unity that we're able to promote through this. And it's about celebrating the culture of all of these states in the Niger Delta.
All right, before I let you go, Team Abia made a spectacle yesterday, resounding statement that they should be the team to watch out for. From your assessment, is Team Abia the team that will shake the table as far as this game is concerned?
Recently, if you look at the trajectory in sports in Nigeria, Delta states, Bayelsa states, Edo State have been big players at whatever level. The National Sports Festival, the National Youth Games, these are teams that you can close your eye and say they will finish in the top 5. And you have all 3 of them competing in this tournament. So Team Delta, very, very big name when it comes to sports. And if they are here, I can close my hand and say they are favorites because somehow they've had a structure. They've had the youth games that they've been hosting year in, year out, they've been winning it. So they have lots of young talents. And somehow motivation has been good from the government. We've seen 1 million naira for gold medals at Sports Festival before from Delta State. Edo State not lagging as well. They've been doing amazingly well. Bayelsa State with Daniel Igali in charge of sports have done an amazing job. So in my opinion, these are the 3 states that should be finishing. Maybe one of them should be winning the trophy in the end. But then for teams like Akwa-Ibom, Abia, Imo, They will have to struggle and probably give us a surprise in this tournament because, you don't go into tournaments just overnight and you want to get the best out of the way. You have to put in lots of preparation, and I hope that the birthing of this Niger Delta Sports Festival will give the states an added platform to try and build their athletes towards those competitions, and especially for the young ones who most of the times have to wait for only the National Youth Games. And you know how sports is in Nigeria. Many schools do not encourage it. Children may be talented, may be hoping to take part in sports, but they do not have the facilities in their schools. They may have the talents, they don't get discovered. So I'm just hoping that we see a surprise in this tournament. But like I told you, in my opinion, it's Delta Fest, any day, anytime. Bayelsa, Edo in the mix. These are the top 3 states I'm looking forward to. But I'm a fan of upsets, and if one comes, I'll embrace it.
Well, Akila Matawal, thank you so much for your time on the show. We really appreciate that you could make out time to be on the show this morning. And we hope that when we do come calling for further updates on the with regards to the Niger Delta Sports Festival, you will oblige us with your presence again.
My pleasure, my pleasure. Thank you.
Thank you, Akila. All right, Malam Shehu Diko, chairman of the National Sports Commission, NSC, officially declared the festival open on behalf of President Bola Ahmed Tinubu, delivering a keynote address. The NSC Director General, Honorable Bukola Olakpade, acknowledged the presence of Chairman Malam Shehu Diko, who represented the president at the event. He commended the Niger Delta Development Commission, NDDC, and all stakeholders involved in organizing the festival, emphasizing its alignment with the Arise agenda, renewed hope in Nigeria for sports economy. Now, a major highlight of the festival was the introduction of the Invited Junior Athletes IJA initiative. The initiative, designed to identify and nurture young talents, will see promising athletes from across the country competing at the 38th state at the ongoing, I beg your pardon, National Sports Festival in Abeokuta. Now, notably, a healthy percentage of the athletes selected for the IJA initiative are participating in the Niger Delta Sports Festival, underscoring its role in grassroots development, as highlighted by my guest Akila Matawal. Now, the event was graced by several distinguished guests, including the executive governors of Akwa-Ibom State, the host state, and Ondo State. Talking about Governor Umar Eno and, of course, Lucky Ayedatiwa, respectively. Now, the dignitaries included the Honorable Minister of the Niger Delta, Abubakar Momo, and top stakeholders from the sporting fraternity. Now, Governor of Ondo State, Lucky Ayedatiwa, while praising the NDDC for the laudable event, said the NDSF would further galvanize development in the region, as it would enhance relationship in the region, as well as engaging the various governments towards building a viral economy that would make life more meaningful for the people of the Niger Delta, whose land has consistently laid the golden egg that the rest of Nigeria currently enjoys. Governor Ayedatiwa challenged his counterparts to work towards sustaining the National Niger Delta Sports Festival, as it had the potential of strengthening the bond within the region. Let's hear from the governor.
The President, Federal Republic of Nigeria, and Commander-in-Chief of the Armed Forces, Asiwaju Ahmed Tinubu, who is ably represented by the Chairman, National Sports Commission, Alhaji Shehu Diko. Let me also acknowledge the host governor, the governor of Akwa-Ibom State, Pastor Eno Umar. I recognize you. Let me acknowledge her able deputy governor, stable minister, regional integrations. I recognize you. The chairman of NDDC board, the MD, all management staff of NDDC, all the contingents from the 9 Niger Delta states that are here, all our sports ambassadors, the legends who have represented this country at one event or the other. Let me use Victor Ikpeba as a point of contact to all of you, distinguished ladies and gentlemen. I'm so excited to be here. This opening ceremony of the first of its kind, the Niger Delta Sports Festival. I would like to thank Mr. President for the support he has given to Niger Delta Commission. That is why they have been able to perform to this level, especially in organizing events. At the same time, I want to thank Mr. President again for the approval of the various development commissions across the 6 geopolitical zones of Nigeria. That shows that Mr. President is very much interested in an all-round development in every part of the country. For us in Niger Delta, this event has demonstrated that we are not only known for oil production, as an interventionist agency also for just physical infrastructures of roads and house electricity and the rest of them. We are also showcasing that human capital development in the areas of sport is one of the areas that NDDC is also looking at. And that is why today's event is very special, first of its kind. Just like the chairman of the organizing committee mentioned, I agree totally with his speech. I just want to add that sports has a lot of benefits. It's for peace building, solidarity, unity, for healthy living, and also for wealth creation. Today, our young talents that have been chosen all across the 9 states of the Niger Delta will be here to put in their best at the various events. And I want to encourage them to put in their best because there are scouts around that will be scouting for the best among you all. From here, you can be spotted to even represent Nigeria on a bigger scale. So I want to congratulate all of you from the 9 Niger Delta states that are here, and I want to wish you well. Let me lastly thank the governor of Akwa-Ibom State for playing host to this first edition. Like the MD said, that the next edition is open to any state that will be willing. Well, since you started with alphabet A, and you know in NDDC, most of our either by alphabetical order or by production quantum. I don't know which rotation you are going to give to this, but think about it. But when it gets our turn, I want to let you know that Ondo State is ready to host you when it's our turn. Thank you, and God bless.
Well, from the comments of Governor Lucky Ayedatiwa of Ondo State, it's obvious that Akwa-Ibom has made quite a spectacle being the maiden host of the maiden edition of the Niger Delta Sports Festival. And it promises a lot to offer. The festival, which runs from April 1 to 8, features about 3,000 athletes and 500 officials competing in 17 sports. Now, the festival, which is set to feature 3,000 athletes from the 9 states of the Niger Delta, will take place across 6 venues, including the Akwa-Ibom International Stadium, also known as the Nest of Champions, or the Uyo Township Stadium, as it's fondly called, and the West Itam Sports Center, with 17 sporting events scheduled throughout the competition. The closing ceremony will be held on the 9th of April 2025. However, to wrap up today's edition of Rapid TV's continuously evolving social, political, and general interest show, Korero, while declaring open the maiden edition of the Niger Delta Sports Festival taking place in Uyo, Akwa-Ibom State, President Bola Tinubu reiterated his administration's commitment towards grassroots development, adding that sports was no longer for recreation alone, but a veritable tool to engaging the nation's youth in meaningful ventures as well as platform for wealth creation. Of course, re-echoing what Governor Lucky Adatiwa said about the fact that sports is about wealth creation. Well, the president said this his administration had decided to scrap the Federal Ministry of Sports and resorted to galvanizing the sports sector through the National Sports Commission in a bid to make sports a productive sector of the nation's economy through the engagement of stakeholders as well as discovering young talents who can become world beaters in the future. He lauded the Niger Delta Development Commission, NDDC, for kickstarting a regional sports event which would institute sports development from the grassroots, adding that the Niger Delta Sports Festival had already given birth to such festivals in the Southwest and Northeast, asserting that it would spiral to other regions, thereby rejuvenating the nation's sports sector as well as taking Nigeria back to its glory days in the international sports meet. Now, President Tinubu, however, charged the athletes to compete fairly, but with a focus to using the platform offered by the Niger Delta Sports Festival as a springboard to international recognition. Now, to sum up today's edition of Rapid TV's continuously evolving social, political, and general interest show, Korero, as the Niger Delta Sports Festival unfolds, the atmosphere is charged with anticipation, camaraderie, and a shared vision of everlasting sports and youth development as far as the region is concerned. The game begins today with athletes competing. Of course, you did hear my guest say some events had already commenced. Volleyball is on the bill at 10 a.m. at West Itam. Table tennis is to take place at the Ultra Fit Center, also at 10 a.m. Swimming at 9 a.m. at which is one of the events that has already started at the Uyo Township Stadium. Handball started much earlier at about 7:30 a.m. at West Itam. Football is billed for 3 p.m. at the Akwa-Ibom International Stadium, 4 p.m. and 5 p.m. as well. And of course, basketball, the women's event, built for 10 a.m. West Itam, while the men's event also at 10 a.m. at the Dakada Sports Center. Athletics is built for 2 p.m. at the Akwa-Ibom Stadium, and weightlifting will come up on Saturday, while wrestling will also take place on Saturday. So trust us to do our bit to keep our ears to the ground. Our searchlight focused on the Niger Delta Sports Festival as the events continue to unfold. Special thanks to my guest, Akila Matawal, a sports journalist and sports analyst based in Akwa-Ibom State, South Nigeria, for making our time to be on the show. And of course, to you, as always, for allowing us to be a part of your morning and your day. And a big thank you to the entire production crew, as always, ensuring that we could bring the show to you live and interactive right here on Rapid TV. So don't forget, we are live and interactive. So even when the show goes off the air, the conversation continues online on all our social media platforms. So why not become part of our growing online community? Don't forget to like, follow, and subscribe to Rapid TV on YouTube and of course on all our social media platforms. I am Nkamian John, the Beloved, known to many as the Controversial, signing out.